let's go into the goals of what we call as the process maps today. So when we do this mapping, normally when we do physically, we use post-it notes, okay, so that people can write and, go from one place to the other. Be able to identify the process that your work is part of. So if you are working in some process, you will be able to identify like the red colored dots here. Okay, probably these are decision making, and you can know, okay, this is my portion of my process, this is my portion activities in my process. Okay, so process maps, so that it describes how it fits with at least 3 other processes in a larger system. This is just a pointer that I'm giving you for you to understand. Okay, be able to identify the process that your work is part of and describe how it fits with at least 3 processes as a part of larger system, so that you get an understanding of who you are immediately, who is the next process, previous process, now. Then we will also explain about the SIPOC, be able to identify who the suppliers are. Actually, for the process, what the inputs are. You should start from the process actually. And there are various schools of thought. Let me explain you this first, and then I'll explain 2 different schools of thoughts. You identify a process and you start saying, process is nothing but the set of activities, and process should be written as verb and noun format. Okay, always this is the point of view. Okay, verb noun format when you write the process steps, high level process steps, and it should not be, it should be 5 to 7 processes. Okay, otherwise it will be too lengthy. High level processes, 5 to 7 important. That's just a, what do you say, it's not written on rock. Okay, it's just a rule of thumb, 5 to 7 high level processes. And for each process, what is the input? And for each process, who are the suppliers? I'll give you a practical example of a kitchen or a pizza, okay, to help you understand this shortly. And then what's the output of the process and who enjoys the output of the process, okay? So suppliers, inputs, output, customers of your process. So that's what we are going to explain. So now I put in a lot of arrows. Can you all see a lot of arrows in the screen, right? So the point that I'm trying to see is making improvement that lasts. The improvement must last, right? Because most of the improvement slips back. It requires us to see work as a result of series of interactive functions. Okay, we generally operate as silos. We behave as though we are all separate functions, silos. I call it as silos. You can also, for benefit of others, you can, or we work as islands. Okay, we don't function as interactive functions, and that is one of the major reasons. The word called local optima. So everybody tries to be efficient at the cost of others. We make somebody else inefficient in the process. Okay, let's look at this. Very familiar. Like what I explained to you in cross-functional maps. There is a marketing hands over to the sales, and sales gets the order. And of course, we have already done all the research. We have done the product designs, and now we've got the order. So production planning comes into the act. And what does the production planning does? They give on one side to raw materials and suppliers, okay, requirement, and then they give the work order and planning requirement, production plan to the production people, and production people, of course, makes the products. Of course, there is a delivery. Product has to be delivered, it has to be serviced to the customers. And of course, based on the customers, we experiment with customers. Okay, customers are the good point where we can do our own research. We experiment with customers, right? Of course, it's required because customer gives us the feedback, and based on the customer feedback and the voice of the customer, we constantly improve the product. Okay, so if work as a system, this is some way called as an interrelationship. This is not exactly, this is sort of a flow diagram only. There is also something called as an interrelationship diagram. Next time, probably I'll talk about the interrelationship diagram.